Do you ever feel overwhelmed or stressed by the work you do? There's deadlines, or there's pressure to do something sooner, better. So if you feel those stresses, I find beyond, let's say, meditation, taking breaks, breathing, mindfulness, one thing that always helps when all those things, let's say, start to fail on you, is just taking time to spend some time out in nature with the trees, just walking in nature, listening to the sounds, especially if you can find a place that's where you're more just yourself, by yourself, in nature, and you can come more in contact with the things that have existed, let's say, long before you came into this world. Like these tall trees here, and the pattern of birds, the dirt in the rocks. Just spending time taking in the sun, taking in the breeze, allowing things just to slow down. So when I remember when a lot of times when my projects were getting out of hand, I would, when things got really overwhelming, look for a tree, preferably as large and thick of a tree. The thicker the tree, the more solid it feels. So I would find a tree like this and just put my hands against it, feeling into the bark, sinking my fingers deep into the trunk of this tree. And this tree this one is so tall, so big. It's much older than I am. It's been here long before I was here on this earth. It may be there long after I leave, and just allow myself feel into it and sink into the roots, into the earth. The roots are perhaps 10 feet, maybe 20 feet into the ground. And as I feel into it, I am feeling grounded into the earth. The wood, feel the wood. You can almost hear the wood in the distance. The woodpeckers in the distance I can hear. And the birds, as they're chirping, they're sitting on a branch somewhere in some distant area, a tree, all connected with the wood into the earth, into nature. There is no stress here. There is no shame. There is a sense of timelessness here. There's not a worry about hours or days. Here, it's a span of years, perhaps even decades. And if you ground into the earth, it's the span of centuries. And maybe millennia has passed. This earth is over 1 billion years old, and you're connecting in with that. So all the things that you've been worried about are just trivialized in comparison to the earth and life and grounding. Just ground. So if I do that, that's one way, just touching into my hands. And if you have better access to the tree, The other thing is sometimes for stability, like, if you feel like you're lightheaded and you can't ground with just your feet, feel the tree as support of your back. The tree is your teacher. The tree knows how to ground. The tree's been doing this. These trees have been doing this for hundreds of years. That's all they know how to do. They know how to ground. There is no urgency here. There just is. All the time in the world. Ground. Help a tree ground you into the ground. And slow time down. Slow time down. Beyond days into years. Slow time down into the age of the earth of 1 billion plus years. Making contact with eternity. And when you're with eternity, there is no more urgency anymore. All is well.